Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So, originally I thought of doing this video involving me recording, making a just audio video and having the trailer and footage of the film, but then I also had to feel like copyright footage. So, I'm gonna do back what I always do, be in front of the camera and discussing. Plus, that's kind of what I like to do. And this is going to be the first for this channel. I'm going to talk about an anime movie. Well, probably talked about anime movies before. Probably talked about Ghost in the Shell. I can't remember. I've talked about so many, to be honest. But today's video is we're going to be discussing is Lupin III, the First. The film was directed by Takashi Yamazaki. Hey, I got it right. Yeah. So originally the film came out in the year in 2019, but it didn't get a dub and a North American release until this year, until 2020. So, and also the film was dedicated to Monkey Punch, who was the creator of Lupin. And of course, before we get into the plot, let's get into the cast. The cast includes Tony Oliver as Arsène Lupin III, Jigen as Richard Epcar, Lex Lang as Goemon, Michelle Ruff as Fujiko, Zenigata as Doug Holtz as Inspector Zenigata. Letitia was played by Laurie Hims. David Breer was Labert, and Paul Guyot was Gerard, and Mark Thompson was Brisson, and River Caniff was yeah, I'm gonna leave that one blank because I do not want to ruin that, even though he's kind of in the trailer. So, before having seen this movie, I did not really know who Lupin was. So yeah, I was not introduced to Lupin until I watched Mojo video talking about, like, say, the best animated films of 2020, and then that came up, and then I found, oh, okay, that sounds awesome. But then after a while, I kind of forgot about that, how awesome that looked, and then I rediscovered it, and then I thought, so before I watched the movie, I watched a few episodes of Part 2, Lupin the Third, Part 2. Yeah. So I watched the Part 2 of the series. So that was my first interest. So watching this series, and then watching the film. So I gotta say, this film was great. It really was. I mean, at the same time, I thought, like, I'm having so much fun with this movie. I really am. I did. So the plot of the film was Arsène Lupin the Third is going after. Actually, the film takes place in 1960. After Lupin and his crew go from Paris, Brazil, trying to find the Brisson diary, a treasure even Lupin's grandfather, Arsène Lupin, failed to catch. And apparently there's a battle to get the diary against Nazis. And yeah, basically whoever gets that, there's an extreme fortune to whoever can get it. Well, I mean, that's the base gist of it. And I'm gonna be honest. If you have not seen Lupin, any of like say whether it's the anime or read the manga, I gotta say either this film or Lupin III, Castle of Cali Grocery Castle of Cali Gielstro. Yeah, apologize about that, but these two films will be a great introduction to Lupin if you have not seen the manga. I mean, read the manga or seen any of the anime. So yeah, these two films are perfect for beginning starts to discovering Lupin. So is anime too. But I gotta say, if you don't want me to spoil anything, I'll give a few minutes, give thoughts. I thought the action was great. The animation was top notch. It was just amazing. Like in a way, like say if I think if more anime films are gonna want to do theatrical films, then this is how you do it. But if you're gonna do it live action, fine. But if you're gonna do a if the anime originally was in 2D, then this would be the perfect way to do theatrical version. Convert it to 3D like this. Because I mean, I feel like I'm gonna have to, but I don't want to get in trouble with this. But I feel like if you have not seen it, check out the trailer and come back and give me and then yeah. But the animation for this film is just top notch. It really is. I gotta say that. And like if you have not, and like also another thing, just Lupin is just a fun, charming character. To be honest, it really is. So are all the characters. All the characters are likable. They're funny. And I guess say like we're gonna go into spoiler territory now. I guess say one of the biggest moments, the big stunning moment, is there's a sequence in the film where Lupin is going through say a security system, and he's just has to avoid lasers, so he uses a grappling hook sort of deal, and when he grabs a cane and his great grandfather's hat, and then he just and he just does that smirk, and you feel like that's the worth the price of admission. I mean, there is so much money shots. There really is. Whether it is the beginning car chase sequence, where Lupin's crew of Jigen and Guillemon are getting him out because, and I'm apologize about blacking out for a second. I was trying not to butcher the character's name, but you know that shit will happen. You know, when you're trying to review films, sometimes you butcher names. But another fun sequence I guess say for this film was just the first time you see Lupin escape, and well, or the opening sequence when it shows all the title sequence of all the characters. Interpol helping Lupin and the crew take over a warehouse so they can trick the Nazis to get the diary back. And I mean, yeah, there is some bit of drama when Letitia trying realizing, hey, this isn't my grandfather, but it's kind of is, but it's kind of, well, I had some confusion because at the beginning of the film it shows him stealing her family's part of the lock for the Rousseau diary. So there's that, and but then later there's a flashback sequence when he's adopting her. So yeah, it's not really it's not kind of confusing, but at the same time it's like she doesn't ever realize, like, say, hey, yeah, this guy's not really my grandfather, but she just thinking, like, okay, yeah, he raised me, so yeah. And I gotta say, the film kind of ends on a note for a sequel, so yeah, there's that. Hopefully, let's get another Lupin film. But at the same time, if you want your dose of Lupin, I also recommend checking out the anime, manga, and there's also other Lupin films as well. And you can check some of those films, the anime out on Crunchyroll. So yeah, there's that. But overall, one way you can describe this film is Indiana James Bond meets Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And yeah, that's perfect way because, like, mostly because of the Nazis. And the first time you see Hitler, I just think, okay, yeah, that's obviously Lupin. At the same time, you're also thinking it's Hitler. But you know, it's obvious. You can obviously tell it's Lupin because, you know, like, they're trying to prove that, you know, he's come back somehow. But overall, I gotta say Lupin the Third, the first film, is pretty darn great. It's enjoyable, it's fun, entertaining as all hell, and it kind of made me a fan of Lupin. And also, I gotta say, one of the characters who is kind of the most, like, say, the most fun, but at the same time I'm thinking, like, say, can this guy get a break, is Inspector Zenigata. I've got to think, like, can this guy just, like, get a break? Like, you know, can he just finally just catch Lupin and then, like, you know, just Lupin finally, he just thinks, like, wow, I finally gotcha. Okay, well, now what? I wasted my life trying to catch this guy. Now what do I do? But yeah. So overall, have you guys seen Lupin the Third, the first film? Oh, and also the film should be coming out on Blu-ray and digital soon, relatively soon. But what are your thoughts? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.